Let's take a comfortable seat. Let us take our prana dana mudra. So that is the index finger and the little finger come together. The other two fingers fold inwards. So the knuckles rest towards one another. And then the thumbs come together. Oh. And then rest that down into the lap. So the fingers point downwards, the index finger and the little finger point downwards in that prana dana mudra. Relax the shoulders, relax the elbows, relax the wrists, and maybe choose a soft gaze or closing the eyes here. And find your breath. Breathing in and out of the nostrils. Let that breath be nice and fluid, free flowing. The breath in is the same length as the breath out. And as you breathe, really relax into the face and the facial muscles. Try to let go of any tension. Maybe there's tension being held in the forehead or around the temples, maybe around the eyes. Relax into the jaw, the cheeks and the teeth. And relax the area around the mouth. And you may start to relax enough that the corners of the mouth start to lift up. And you start to introduce this little smile. And the corners of the mouth, as they smile, they extend all the way up the cheekbones to the eyes. And you almost can feel yourself smiling behind the lids into the eyes. Our practice today is all about lightheartedness. I want to take the seriousness out of our practice just a little bit and really try to introduce a relaxed facial expression in some of these postures. Also, just a little bit of a smile sometimes. And letting go of anything that's, happened or transpired throughout the day that frustrated or upset you, maybe made you a little bit angry or sad, but really think of something for the moment that makes you smile, that makes you happy. Maybe that's flowers, animals, nature, people, family, friends. Just visualize something that makes you smile. Each and every time you might look at something and you corners of the mouth, again, they lift up when you see this thing. And our practice today is not about perfection. It's not about seriousness. It's about smiling, having fun, enjoying the process, enjoying the journey when you come to your mat. And it's also about breathing in those tense moments and not beating yourself up because you can't do something or the body's not allowing you to do something. So breathe, smile, and enjoy your practice today. As you breathe out, release the pranadana mudra to the knees. Just open the palms up there. Wiggle the fingers. Get some movement back after the mudra. Circle into the wrists. Circle into the shoulders. Let's lift the arms up above the head, interlace the fingers and just push the palms away. Big, big stretch here. And just reach up and over, left and right. Again, don't have to go too far either side. Just a little stretch into the side body, right and left. And then release the palms forward as you drop the belly back towards the spine, rounding the back, dropping chin towards the chest. Lift the arms up and over, release the hands, they come back behind you, fingertips face forward, little back stretch there, opening up the chest. All of last week was upper body. Today we switch up some postures to have a little bit of fun. Bring yourself back into center, take a nice little spinal rotation. Right and left, remembering to breathe and smile through all of this practice today. And if you ever forget that you are not smiling, just remember that visualization again. That's something that makes you smile. Maybe do a little extra rotation right and left. Bring yourself back into center, lift the knees, bring the knees out in front of you. Keep the feet nice and wide here and just drop the belly down towards the thighs and let the head relax towards the knees. And relax into the face, forehead, around the eyes, the temples, the cheek, the jaw. Let all the skin soften. And then let's unroll to our first posture. And of course, you can use props for this one. This is our squat. So if you are coming into this squat, you might like to use a block to sit on. Block simply just goes underneath the buttocks and you can rest the elbows onto the knees. Or you might not need that block. And just make your way nice and gently into that first posture. Take time to get there. We're not staying here for too long, but find somewhere that is comfortable. Hands come into the heart center and again, relax the face, the area around the eyes. Smile and breathe. Let the breath take away the tension. Try to surrender into gravity here, letting the hips fall down towards the mat. Or just make sure that you are sitting and grounding on that block. Remembering to breathe and smile. Nice and slowly release the hands. Start to lift the sit bones nice and carefully as you come out of that pose. Take time to start to straighten the legs. We're going to come into dangling pose. So heel toe the feet into parallel. And just rock forwards and backwards as you just release into the toes and the ankles and the knees, of course, there. And then choosing the option again, using props as you need to, dangling pose, you can place a bolster, or maybe you've got 1 or 2 blocks that you place so that the head can rest down. Or maybe you just like to come into that dangling fold, letting the head release, taking hold of the elbows, giving the whole posture your whole weight. And here, as we're upside down, you can relax into the jaw and the teeth here so that all of the skin relaxes down towards the earth as well as the head. Legs do not have to be straight here. They can be nicely bent so you're resting your chest and belly down over your thighs. Make sure that you don't find any tension within the body here. Certainly into the neck. Relax the head and the neck. Reminding yourself of the breath. Reminding yourself the exhale breath to let go of tension. And the inhale breath is a smile. And release the hands. Take away the prop if you use that as your support for your head. Release the feet back towards the back of the mat. Come into your tabletop position. And again, just take these moments of steadiness and slowness to come out of each posture into recovery. Maybe circling the hips forward and backwards, releasing into the hip flexors and to the spine. And then find a couple of rounds of your cat and cow just to mobilize into the spine there. Remembering drawing the corners of the mouth upwards towards the eyes, smiling into the face, into the eyes. Let's release back into a wide leg child's pose with the head just resting on the hands here. Exhaling. And feel the forehead soften onto the back of your hands. Feel the spine releasing in child's pose. Feel the hips relaxing. Long, slow, deep breaths. Breathing in, lifting the head, bring the hands underneath the shoulders as you slowly roll up through the spine. Take time, no rush, avoid the dizziness. Just come into a kneeling pose of thunderbolt, bringing the knees together. Heels come underneath the buttocks. And just sit nice and tall there, relaxing into the shoulders, relaxing into the rib cage. Spine feels long, but it's relaxed yet firm. It's not rigid. And again, we want to be comfortable. Coming into dragon pose. You might wish to use blocks here, whether you're on your palms or your forearms. So bringing blocks through and then bringing the right foot towards the front of the mat, dropping the hips. So this is just a straight dragon here. It's not winged. So the foot is facing forward, bending into the right knee, dropping hips downwards. And of course, you can keep the body upright here if you like, and whether you need the blocks or not, you might like to come down, lower down onto the forearms, maybe again using those blocks to fill the space. So exhaling, choosing an option that really works for you. And maybe dragon is a big favorite, maybe it's not a favorite, but again, think of that element of smiling, having fun, lightheartedness to the practice today. It's not about perfection, it's about practice. And that's why we're here each and every week. Relaxing into the forehead, the area between the eyes and around the eyes. Softening into the jawline and the teeth. Turning the corners of the mouth up as you smile. Reminding yourself to breathe, not holding the breath. Breathing in, starting to come out. If you were down on the forearms, bring yourself back up onto the fingertips or the palms. Drop the hips just a little bit deeper there as you look forward. Nice long spine. And then gently pull the hip back towards the heel. Give yourself a little stretch into that right leg there. Little monkey, half monkey. Drawing the toes up of the right foot. And then release right leg back. Left leg comes forward. Again, foot faces forward, making sure that the knee stacks nicely over that ankle. Get the belly on the inside of that thigh. And again, choosing those options of using blocks if you need them, filling the space. Take time to come into the posture. Let gravity do the work for you. Noticing any differences from right to left here. Relaxing the face, giving yourself that smile, visualizing that one thing that always makes you smile when you look at it. As these minutes just pass by, holding these postures, just notice if you're still, finding any tension. Notice if tension creeps back in. Notice if you feel gripping, tensing up, clenching. Nice and slowly returning to upright wherever you were there. Coming back up onto the fingertips or the palms, dropping hips as you breathe out, lengthening the spine into that upright dragon. Slowly, slowly, slowly moving back the hips. And just come into that stretch of the left leg, hamstring, drawing toes up. Few breaths there just to release out. And then swing that leg back to the back of the mat. And just come into a wide leg kneel. So take the knees nice and wide here and come back into that seated kneeling, dropping the sit bones down towards the heels. Just notice how the inner thighs, hip flexors, hamstrings feel after your dragon here. Again, just relaxing into the face, smiling. We're going to come down onto our backs for a reclined butterfly. So bringing the knees together and just coming onto your back. Now here, you can of course use your props. You can use blocks underneath to support the knees. You might like to use a bolster underneath the knees, or you might just like to take your reclined butterfly without any props at all. Soles of the feet come together, knees go out to the side, and the arms can be wherever you most feel comfortable. As long as you spread the shoulder blades out underneath you, they might go out above the head. They might come down by the side of the body, or they might connect to the body. You might have the left and the right hand on the belly and the heart space. Wherever those hands are, just make sure that the palms are facing up towards the sky if they're out by the side of you. Choosing to close the eyes or take a soft gaze here. Return back to that relaxation through the facial expression. Forehead, area between the eyebrows. The area around the eyes. The cheekbones, the jaw lines. Relaxing into the teeth, maybe relaxing the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Drawing the corners of the mouth up so you start to invite a little smile into the mouth, which extends up towards the eyes, and you smile behind the lids if you've got your eyes closed. Deep sense of surrender and relaxation into this posture. Enjoying breathing and letting go of anything that you're holding on to here. Taking a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Move the hands towards the outer thighs. Make sure that you lift the legs together rather than the hips doing the work for you. And then place the feet wide. Toes turn in, heels turn out. Drop the knees together. Constructive rest. Take a moment to soften everything and relax. We always want to allow the body time to recover and respond from being held in a posture for 3 or 4 minutes. Heel toe the feet in towards the center and just gently draw the knees in towards the chest and just roll out, circle, massage, maybe open up the knees a little bit so that you can release into those hips and inner thighs. And let's roll over to one side. We're going to come back up to tabletop. So this is our winged dragon. So again, you can use those blocks to support you, and you might like to use a bolster underneath the back knee. But with a winged dragon, we are turning the heel forward, toes out to the side so that the knee tracks the middle toe, or you might like to roll over onto the outer edge of your foot, so you're really opening up into those hips there. So choosing an option that works. I'm rolling onto the outer edge of my foot, dropping that knee down. And then just find your winged dragon position where you need to be. Don't go too deep too soon. Allow the gravity to take you deeper into the posture of winged dragon. Maybe you find winged dragon a little bit less challenging than the variation that we did earlier. Again, finding the lightheartedness and the smile. Exhaling to let go, relax, go deeper. Inhaling to enjoy. Trust the process. Smile and let go of the tension. Relaxing the forehead, the area between the eyes, the area around the eyes. Smile with the eyes. Relax the cheekbones, the teeth, the tongue, the jaws. Smile with the corners of your mouth. To come out of the pose, take your time, breathing in Bringing yourself up into that upright dragon, lengthening the spine, relaxing shoulders away from ears. Then keeping the foot where it is on the outer edge of your mat, just pull yourself back into that wide-legged monkey stretch. So heel is away from your hip line, and maybe you just drop down a little bit deeper towards the mat, folding the body on the inside of your right leg. Toes might curl back towards the shin, and you can always bend into that right knee. And slowly release, bend into the knee, and sweep that leg back. Give yourself a little circle out before we come back into the other side. So winging that foot out, turning the toes out, heel goes forward. Maybe you drop onto the outer edge of that foot, and again, using props as you need to. Don't go too deep too soon. Let gravity do the work. Most of our postures today we're holding for 3 minutes because we've got a lot of right and lefts. So we tend to spend about 10 minutes on each posture. Noticing the differences as we've changed sides. Reminding yourself it's all about practice, not perfection. Smiling and not being too serious. Breathing and not beating yourself up. Taking your time, breathing in, bringing the hands back underneath you, coming into the upright version. Dropping that knee just a little bit out to the sides as you lengthen the spine and pulling yourself back into that wide-legged half monkey. Dropping the heel, pulling the toes back, extending through the leg and dropping the body down towards the mat on the inside of that left leg. And gently releasing. Sweeping that leg back. Swaying out as you need. If you like, you can introduce a round of cat and cow here just to release into the spine, of course. It always feels nice. We're coming down onto our backs once more for a reclined spinal twist. So you can, of course, choose to use blocks or a bolster to support the leg. We're going to take the left leg across first of all. So using the bolster, just roll over to the left side, or maybe you rest the knee on a block. It's okay, whichever you like. You don't have to, of course, use props. Just notice here if you've taken tension into the underneath hip, underneath leg, try and relax the underneath leg as much as the upper leg. And here, visualize that smile going into your abdomen area, into the belly. You're actually smiling from your inner center. The area of our transformation. Breathing in. Roll back into the center. Keep that left leg bent and take it across the right knee into your all four pose or your half reclined pigeon. And just lengthen the spine and just start to push that left knee out towards the side of the mat. Relax into the glutes and that left buttock, left hip. And then release the left foot down towards the mat. Take a moment to pause. Switching your bolster and your blocks over to the other side. And rolling onto the left hip, right leg comes across the body. Open up the chest, try and draw the right shoulder down this time, and the arms can come out to the side of you, palms face up. Making sure that You're opening up the chest. You've got a rotation into the spine. And take that smile once more, deep down into the abdomen, into the belly, into the digestive area. Smile from your inner center, the Manipura chakra. Noticing if you have taken tension into the underneath buttock, underneath leg. Try and relax there, let that go. Breathing in. Bring yourself back into center. Take the right leg across the left knee. That little half reclined pigeon. We're not lifting the foot up away from the mat, but we're gently pressing the right knee outwards, relaxing into the glutes of the right hip. Coming up towards our peak pose of fire log. Draw the knees in, roll and massage out. And let's roll over to one side. Bring yourself up to seated. This is where we come into a posture where we need to smile. This is our fire log pose. So fire log is a double pigeon. And we're placing the right leg on top of the left. If this is too much for you, then you can do a single fire log, which is with the right leg over and the left leg straight underneath you. So it's slightly different to what we did last week, which was the half cow face. That was straight across. You rest the outer shin on the top of the thigh. So see if you can bring those legs one on top of each other. You're trying to make a little triangle in the center. And of course, you've got blocks. Again, you might be able to just rest a block under there. Feet are nicely flexed. And just sit with. Breathe, relax, and smile. Choosing the option that works for you. Good. Relax into the face, relax into the neck, the shoulders, the spine. Maybe it helps to visualize that one thing that makes you smile. And slowly to come out, just move the legs nice and carefully out in front of you. And just take the hands back behind you and just windscreen wiper, knees right and left. Or it is one of my least favorite. I definitely feel this one. So, right leg comes underneath. Got this shin parallel to the front or the side of your mat. Left leg comes across. Again, using props as you need to support those legs, or choosing the half fire log variation. Trying to make that little triangle, trying to get the shins parallel with one another. Noticing differences right to left here. Smiling, relaxing into the face. Smiling through the eyes, the mouth. Smile through the heart. Smile through the core. Relaxing into the legs, the hips, the buttocks. Breathing, not fighting. Exceptional work. Just a few more breaths here. We're holding these for a couple of minutes. Even 5 breaths is a challenge, I know. It's not about perfection, it's about practice. Slowly coming out of the pose, just releasing the legs out in front of you. Take your time and just hands come back behind you. Windscreen wiper those knees right and left. Well done. Fire log prepares us for our flow tomorrow, our fun flow. And we're going to come onto our backs, last few postures before relaxation, drawing knees in towards the chest. And do what you need to here, just circle, massage. And of course, we can't really not have a happy baby in a practice of smiling and fun and lightheartedness. So taking the feet up towards the sky, taking the hands on the outer edges of your feet, the ankles, the calves, all behind the back of the knees, and just roll from side to side, dropping a knee down towards the mat. Just massage through the sides of your waist, through the spine, and then steadily coming back into center to lengthen the tailbone and finding stillness and happiness in this reclined happy baby. Smiling through the eyes, the mouth, the heart, and the core center. Finding comfort and enjoyment. And for the last minute of your happy baby, you can stay with bent legs. If you like, you can extend the feet towards the top corners of your mat, extending through the back of the legs, trying to keep the spine long. This is your reclined bear pose. So you might start to pull the toes downwards. Deep inner groin, deep hamstring. Smiling, relaxing, breathing. Slowly bend at the knee. Bring the feet back into the mat. Take them wide. Drop the knees together. Constructive rest. And soften everything here as you allow the body to recover. Heel toe the feet into parallel. Last time, draw the knees in and roll and massage out. Do what you need to here to prepare yourself for your Shavasana. If you feel like you need an extra posture, go ahead, do that. Or just make yourself into a nice, comfortable corpse pose, maybe using a bolster underneath the knees, a pillow, a blanket underneath the head, and making yourself warm. Try not to let the body temperature drop too much here. And coming into that relaxation posture of Shavasana. Start by focusing on your breathing, regulating the breath equally. And as you slow down the breath, you slow down the heart rate. You slow down that fight or flight response from posture work, asanas. You slow down the mind as you bring yourself completely into this moment, into the present. And allow the facial expression to soften and relax as much as the body is. As you lay your bones onto your mat, take a long, slow breath into your body matrix. As you exhale, feel a warmth of relaxation flood over you. Keep breathing in these long, slow, deep breaths. And take your attention to your skin. Feel how it covers and coats your entire body, holding the bones, the muscles, and all of the connective tissue in place. Now dive down, deep underneath the skin, and feel into your skeleton, all the bones as they become heavier, and all the bones that make up your shape. The skull, the arms, the rib cage, the hips, and the legs. As I name the bones, imagine each one is floating and suspended in water, being held on the tide of soft tissues. Skull, jaw, collarbones, upper arms, lower arms, all 10 fingers, sternum, rib cage, front of the pelvis, back of the pelvis, upper legs, lower legs, all 10 toes. Your entire skeleton is floating, supported, held, relaxed, and suspended. Beginning to take a few deeper breaths now as you bring your awareness back into your room and onto your mat. Bringing your awareness slowly and steadily into your body by wiggling fingers, moving wrists, wiggling toes, moving ankles. Taking time to awaken the mind and body from your relaxation in Shavasana. Maybe you like to stretch out the entire body. And rolling over to one side, coming back up to a comfortable seat, bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra, sitting nice and tall. Again, return to this complete relaxation in the facial expression. Notice the forehead, the area between the eyebrows, around the temples, around the eyes, the cheekbones, the jaws, the teeth and the tongue. And as you gently curl the corners of the mouth upwards, that extends into the higher cheeks and also into the eyes. As you smile, internally behind the eyes, into your heart and into your true center, your true source, your essence. Reminding yourself that fun, lightheartedness, happiness, smiling tends to break up the seriousness, the striving for perfection, and also lets go of a little bit of tightness and tension in the mind and the body. So always thank yourself for everything that you do and all that you do for your mind and body and your overall well-being. And I thank you. Namaste.